Let me clear my throat before I get into this presentation. Hello, family. Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. Before we get into today's episode, if you are new to this podcast, or if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel as of yet, please do that now. And also be sure to tap the notification bell for alerts when we upload a new video. Please let us know in the comment section below this audio podcast where are you listening to us from. Also let us know what's happening in your country, in your state, and or in your city so that we can discuss it on this platform in real time. If you come on this platform with me, you can make that happen. We are a global community and we want to keep our listeners informed about what's going on with Black people and African people throughout the diaspora. I would like for us to grow this platform to 500,000 strong and maybe even more. Also, for us to get our film project fully funded and made so that we can use the proceeds from the film to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, within the low income Black community and become an economic base within the Black community. Eventually, in God's timing, we will be hosting African tours, Caribbean tours, and South American tours so that way we can move beyond cyberspace and make our presence known in cities and countries around the globe. On this platform, we are more than just talk. We will put boots on the ground and do what we can to help improve the social conditions of our people who want more out of life and who want to become GRCAM members. To learn more about business opportunities within our media component, please purchase my ebook first and read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, specifically Black Chicago, then you will automatically become a GRCAM member. I'm looking forward to connecting with as many of you as possible. Again, I thank those of you who have supported this important piece of work that we're trying to do. Disclaimer. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is based on public available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's community guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This audio podcast is available in two forms, audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience where they're at. So in other words, on my Medium, I call it a Medium transcript, which is going to be on my Medium page. And again, you can find that in the comment section below this audio podcast. In the comment section is going to be my entire speech. And so all you have to do is just scroll down to at the bottom where it says show and prove. Once I finish with my presentation, I'm willing to try to go over the process of navigating using my Medium page. So it would be nice if you all would also follow me on my Medium page. That way you have access to all of my speeches that I do. And so where it says show and prove, that's my receipts, or, those are my sources that I get my information from. And I have it available as articles for those that like to read, such as myself. and also for videos for those that probably don't like to read, or just a person that kind of on the go. All right, so I try to reach people where they're at. um so again, I would like to encourage my listeners to please subscribe to my Medium page. That's free to do. Follow me on there, and again, you will have access to my presentation, like what I'm doing right now. I provide my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. If you are a Black artist or African artist, such as an author, comedian, poet, musician, or entrepreneur, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that way you can promote your books, your business, your music, your jokes. And if you have a small ministry, you're more than welcome to share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. After the show, I will offer an incentive to my guest speakers by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and get it monetized, as well as assist them with creating a free Wix website. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please get your calendars to mark down these dates if you want to come on this platform. I am available Tuesday, June. Okay, let me change that. Yes, I'm available Tuesday, June 16th through Sunday, June 21st. Monday, June 22nd through Thursday, June 25th. Sunday, June 28th, and Monday, June 29th, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. American Central Time. On this platform, again, I share my platform with people that's on my friends list and people that's in my social groups. That's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X. So if you're on those sites, just send me, I would say, send me a message to my inbox along with your email address, and we could take it from there in terms of getting you on this platform. Also, if you do not know how to use StreamYard or Zoom, I'm willing to teach you how to use both of them, so that way you can get on this platform. Don't just listen to our audio and video podcast. Join the movement, ladies and gentlemen. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but at this point, this is where I'm at. Doing the best that I can without half stepping, because I'm not a half stepper at all. Again, it doesn't matter how bad I want to get this business up and running. It doesn't matter how bad I want to do this film project. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, God give us free will. Now, if it was up to me, everybody that's listening would be on board with what I'm trying to do. Everybody. But again, a lot of people online just want to play games. For example, on LinkedIn alone, I have 12,000 followers. Okay? Yet, I still have less than 800 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So, right there, that's not cool. I need you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Interact with me. And I need you all to become Gurkam members, because after all, that's who I'm trying to recruit. People that have the smarts, brave and smart, like-minded, Black Americans beyond Chicago, brave and smart African immigrants throughout the United States of America from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I'm calling all of you all out. I want to do business with you, but I need your help. First, help me get my revised book on that bestsellers list, ladies and gentlemen. That would put me in a better position financially so that way I can hire Black people, African people, and others. Because right now my book is barely selling. That's a, and again, this is spiritual warfare at its best. Have a virtual store, trying to generate capital. So that way I can hire Black people, African people, and others. But again, it takes capital, ladies and gentlemen. Now you all saying that you want to boycott the Asian businesses and all that. That's fine and dandy. Bring that money over this way. Support a Black business. So that way I can hire Black people. Make our presence known in the low income Black community here in the city of Chicago. Now, if it expands to other cities, cool. But if not, that's fine with me too. I've done my best. I gave 34 years of my life trying to reach out to Black Chicagoans online and in real life. Majority of the people tell me they're not interested. Cool, no problem. This is why I created this platform, to reach people beyond Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting my credibility on the line. All I have is a book and my virtual store. Ain't no scams. Small minded, off code Negroes, that's don't got nothing going on. They want to tell me, oh, it sounds like a scam. Well, I tell them to step off then if you think it's a scam. But those of you that smart, those of you that got sense enough to know where I'm coming from, make yourself known to me. First, read my story so you'll know what you're getting yourself involved with. Everything that's written in that book, that's what we're going to carry out to the fullest. And I'm standing on that, and I stand on business. Those that have rejected me for the past 34 years, no problem. No problem at all. I'm going to make sure we remain strangers for life. Mark my words, including my family members. If I'm like this with my own flesh and blood, how you think I'm going to be with strangers? And that's real. But again, let me get back to the topic at hand. I'm encouraging both Black Americans and African immigrants. Well, Black Americans, specifically those that embrace the term DAS FM, descendants of American slaves / freedmen. This business is for you, especially those of you that's single Black parents. I would say single Black mothers and single Black fathers. The business is for you and your children. I want to work with you. That's the whole purpose. I'm trying to get this business up and running. I'm getting a lot of pushback, not from white America, pushback from Black America. It's a doggone shame. I don't like it. It's not cool at all. And I want to make sure none of my members would never have to go through this type of foolishness. Because that's all it is. And that's why I talk about current events, that what's going on, in the news. Because all of that stuff is, again, the reason why we have to get your cam up and running, ladies and gentlemen. Especially those of you that lives here in the United States of America. All this off-code behavior is going to come to an end one way or another. And I'm trying to help our youth, and especially the unborn Black youth, so that they don't have to go through this type of foolishness. I'm 34 years behind schedule. And again, I'm on first base still. don't like it. I don't like it at all. And again, if it wasn't for God blessing me with Sister Renee, I would have left this alone a long time ago. She's been working with me from behind the scenes for the past 14 years. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But we're going to deal with what's going on with our people, those that want more out of life. And my business will be membership based, point blank. If you're not interested, oh, yeah, let me let you all know up front. If you're not interested in solving Black issues or solving African issues, please delete me off your friends list and go on about your business. That's real. Because I ain't over here playing no games. This is real. Our people are suffering, our Black youth are suffering, and they're being targeted because they don't have any protection, unfortunately. And that's again due to this slave mentality within our culture. It is what it is. So again, encouraging the global African family. If you're serious about me bringing my business over to the African continent, then help me get my ebook on that bestsellers list. You know what I'm saying? And read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan, then make arrangements with me. Get on camera and let's talk about it. And let's encourage others to get involved. That's what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. I want my advisory boards or resource team to have an associate's degree or above. I want Black attorneys, African attorneys, investors, financial planners, marketers, Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists to help me build and help me manage this business. Because again, this is a Nehemiah assignment and it's bigger than myself. And this is what I want to be remembered for, trying to do something, not someone that's just sitting up running off at the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Again, I spent 16 years paying for a business title. So I got the business title, I got all the paperwork done, yet I lack advisory board or resource team. I lack a physical building. My bank, I bank at Chase Bank, and they are doing their best to try to get me to take out a business loan. I'm not going to sit up here and get myself in debt if I can get support from what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, skip that. Once we get our film project fully funded and made and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then I will be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals, and qualified African immigrants. You know, that's what all I'm trying to do. So, and again, without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God-given assignment with, with the help of GRCAM members, of course, that together we will build the best Black Christian business within the United States of America. And that would be the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago for credibility before I cut and run to Africa. And again, I want to make sure that Sister Renee will be well taken care of before I cut and run, that we dedicate a chapter for her for standing by my side and working with me behind the scenes for the past 14 years. You know what I'm saying? I wish God would bless me with more sisters like her and brothers. But hey, it is what it is. Again, God give us free will. But one thing for sure, I am not going to sit up here and lower my standards. We're going to separate ourselves from con art. There will be consequences. If I catch any con artists up in my business, I'm running my business the way I run my home, drama free. And that's real. That's why I want people to read my story so you'll know what you're getting yourself involved with. That's why I'm trying to turn my book into a film because I want the whole black world to know my story. You know, I encourage everyone in my Christian groups on Facebook, Light of the World Inspirational Group and Christian Spoken Word Network, as well as people in my secular groups such as Gurkai of Africa, Gurkai of Chicago, and uh, same thing as this platform, Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast group on Facebook. I need you all to stand up, put me on blast, just encourage all of your friends that's on your friends list on all social media sites that you are on. Just share my YouTube page with them, encourage them to read my ebook, encourage them to um, join us, encourage them to become members of the grassroots community activist movement because we standing on business over here. I'm not running for public office, but together with the help of GRCAM members, we're gonna get it from the mud. We're gonna build, in other words, in layman terms, we're gonna build this business from the ground up. Um, Also, leave a public comment on my YouTube page about the topic, like like what's going on right now, what we're going to discuss today. Leave a comment about it and share the link with all of your friends on all social media sites that you are on. And if you can, please purchase my ebook. It's $9.99. You can get my ebook. I have the link in the comment section. It's on my Amazon author page. Title of my book is, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. It's available in two forms. I'm encouraging everyone to get the ebook because that's the cheapest for $9.99. Or the paperback for $15 plus shipping and handling. Read the whole book for yourselves. If you agree with my vision and plan, you will automatically become a GRCAM member. And especially those that's here in the United States of America, I'm trying to recruit you. If you got the smarts that I'm looking for, make yourself known to me. Don't wait until I die. Work with me while I'm alive. Because that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to move from behind the computer. I ain't trying to cower behind no computer just to be running off at the mouth. We're going to bring this thing to the low income Black community in the city of Chicago, starting on the west side. We're going to cover Austin, Garfield Park, and North Lawndale, and then also expand it to the south side of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? We want to raise the bar, separate ourselves again from con artists, hardened criminals, degenerates, pedophiles, um, urban terrorists, Black Boule, Democrat Shields, all off code Negroes, all the people that will give our racial group a bad name. We want to separate from those people. You know what I'm saying? And how we're going to do that? I'm going to require everybody that's going to Sign up. You're gonna have to sign that community pledge first. You're gonna have to attend our mandatory orientation once we have that physical building up and running. Because I want the community to know, hey, we here. You know what I'm saying? We want to be known for making, um, I would say, positive Black empowerment films to give our young people a chance to get out of the streets, stay away from gangs, so that way they can feed their families and pay their bills, legitimate, and they don't not have to run from the police because we're legit. That's all I've been trying to do for the past 34 years. Still on first base. It's not cool at all, but hey, somebody has to do this. But I know one thing for sure. Once we get this film project fully funded and made, I want to make sure none of my members have to endure this type of foolishness. I encourage Black content creators and African content creators who have a large following. Please allow me to come on your platform so that I can speak with your audience about my revised book and my film project. After all, my Christian business is for Black millennials and Generation Z. Um, I don't want the brand and the vision to die in America. I want to push this vision to the Black world. This is my contribution to Africa's rising. Anyone on my friend, again, just saying this, anyone on my friends list or in my social group who care less about solving Black issues or not interested in solving African issues, please delete me off your friends list and go on about your business. That's all I ask. Again, I'm online to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans beyond Chicago, brave and smart, like-minded African immigrants across the United States of America. That's what I'm trying to do. This year, we are determined to get this film project fully funded and made so that we can get our story on the big screen in order to reach the Black world and let them know who we are and what we're trying to do for Black Americans who identify as DAS-FM, descendants of American slaves / freemen, who are trapped in American ghettos, specifically in Black Chicago, in the low-income Black community. Upcoming events. Please mark your calendar for Tuesday, June 30th. We have a guest speaker, Apostle Sarah Bana from Zambia. Saturday, June 27th, we're hosting our monthly virtual interactive conference. I would like to encourage 5 people from my Facebook page or from my Facebook social groups to be on the panel to discuss our monthly theme. This time it's entitled How South Africa Became a Third World Country. You would need to watch the documentary first so that way you can discuss it on the show. If interested, then please send me a message to my Facebook inbox along with your email address so that way I can email you specific instructions about being on the panel. Thank you. If you are unable to participate on our monthly virtual interactive conference on our YouTube Live, no problem. Then please listen to the replay, leave a public comment about the topic in the comments section. Most of all, please share the audio podcast with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thanks. After the panel discuss the topic, then we will drop the StreamYard link in the chat room for Q&A, where YouTube Live when Saturday, June 27th time, 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Title of this presentation: Carmelo Anthony sentenced to 35 years should serve as a wake-up call for Black Americans. Um, the second topic: are stand your ground laws meant for Black Americans too? And the protests in Northern Ireland. Our first topic: Carmelo, Carmelo Anthony sentenced to 35 years should serve as a wake-up call for Black Americans. So unless you have been living under a rock, everyone heard the verdict. Carmelo Anthony was found guilty of murder by an all-white jury, not of his peers. For me, this was a clear case of self-defense. This young Black teenager was sitting on a bench minding his business. Four larger teenagers surrounded him. He gave them a warning not to touch him. They physically assaulted him, and under the law, that's grounds for self defense. That wasn't premeditated. This Black teenager didn't leave home planning on snapping on anyone. If he was really guilty, they would have shown the video already. Truth be told, Black Americans are excluded and exempt from the U.S. Constitution. I'm just being real. The Constitution says that you have a right to a fair trial. You have a right to a trial of your peers. That's what it says. But of course, that applies to everyone except Black people. This is yet another example of racism in real time. You have an entire society that collaborated and got together on code to target this young Black teenager. Notice not a word from the Congressional Black Caucus, the NAACP, or the National Urban League. This is the hypocrisy the of democracy. He was convicted by an all-white jury. I've always told my members, if you are Black, you can be arrested, you can be tried, and you can be convicted. Even as so-called white population numbers dwindle, they will make sure that this system are in place from the bottom to the top. Last Tuesday, June 9th, a jury selection began. Opening arguments and sentencing was handed down quickly. The judge banned cameras in the courtroom. Black parents, especially single black mothers, this business I'm trying to create is for you and your children. That's real. I don't have any kids because this world don't deserve my seed. I'm just being real. But at least I have compassion. I want to try to help my racial group, Black people or Black Americans who identify as descendants of American slaves / freedmen. Now, yes, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, they're also part of our lineage. However, it's just too much disrespect for for me to even try to work with some of those people, because like I said in my last podcast, some twisted FBA brother, you know, I don't know the dude, minding my own business on Substack. I was on there for 6 months, trying to grow my audience over there too, because hey, I try to make my presence known all over online. You know what I'm saying? For that publicity, to get that tongue twisted, to get the exposure, to get my message out there loud and clear. I'm beating that drum, you know what I'm saying? However, this dude, just started talking off the wall. You know, I think what it was, he doesn't like the fact that I don't want to embrace that term FBA. You know what I'm saying? You can't impose that on everybody. That's not a term that I want to use. That's under Tariq Nasheed's camp. You know what I'm saying? And so, anyway, the guy was, you know, he don't like the fact that I want to include African immigrants, in my organization and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, you can't dictate nothing over here. Go about and find you some business. Then he gonna call me a tether and all that garbage. I'm like, dude, you know who you talking to? I'm from the soil, and I've been trying to get my business up and running in the low income black community for the past 34 years and still have little to no support. So I'm trying to help our people. So he was really, trying to get under my skin. I was like, look, just send me your email address. Uh, Pick out a date that you want to come on my show. Get on camera and let's debate me then. Then a few days later, I tried to get on Substack, and then they said that my account was, something about my account was shut down. I'm like, oh man, this dude up here lying on me about something. It was a straight up turn off. He did all of that, but all that guy had to do, if he was real, purchase my revised book, read my story. If he would agree with the vision and plan, shoot, I'll work with him. You know what I'm saying? But no, he just want to sit up here and just cause confusion. So, like I say over here, we ain't with all that. Not at all. We nipped that in the bud. Um, so let me get back to this my presentation. The judge banned cameras in the courtroom. Um, Again, our black youth are being targeted. That's not a flex. That's a form of weakness. They started with Emmett Till, and that actually, helped spark the civil rights movement right there. Emmett Till, they up here killing our youth and stuff like that. That was uncalled for. You didn't have to kill that boy. Then, what started Black Lives Matter, but like I say, that Black Lives Matter got hijacked, having all that other, it was co opted and all that kind of stuff for LGBT and all that stuff. So basically, they capitalizing off the death of our black youth. That's not cool at all. That's a turnoff. But anyhow, um, Trayvon Martin, helped his death helped spark the Black Lives Matter movement. Um, Tamir Rice and this young brother Cyrus, 14-year-old teenager. That just to name a few. So the white supremacist financial elites, they're celebrating that an Asian man, unalive a black child, that's not cool at all. And so I'm glad that Black Americans are deciding to boycott Asian businesses in the Black community. Because doggone it, if they're gonna be this doggone disrespectful, you shouldn't do business with them people at all. Let them kind of like what I'm going through, but I'm glad let them wither on the vine. But I'm glad that even though I have little to no support for what I'm trying to do, and that's trying to be a financial blessing to the low income black community, but you know, I'm glad that I'm still able to keep my head above water through the help of God, of course. It's a dog on shame, though. It's taking so long. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm not crying, but doggone it, I am gonna express myself. This ain't cool at all. It's a straight up turnoff. But somebody has to do this. But I ain't gonna be faking no funk like everything is okay um and all that good stuff. I'm gonna express my pain. Um so we have to break all of this stuff down. I'm glad um that um they're going to appeal this verdict because his lawyer was very ineffective. This is a reminder that we are a people without any type of legal representation or support. I have been speaking about this for 3 decades, yet Black Americans still refuse to heed to what I'm saying. There are consequences for inaction, and we're seeing that being played out right now. And I hate to be like, I told you so. But hey, it is what it is. Um, I've seen rappers and ball players have access to real attorneys, and then next thing you know, the only way your our our upper class black people get convicted is if they have you on a video confession. Some of these lawyers in the dominant society, um, when you have a racially charged case like this, will lose on purpose in order to stay on code with white supremacy. You all need to understand that. And again, we're not shocked about the outcome. They have been doing this to us since 1619. There are laws on the books against black people defending themselves from white aggression. And we're used to that. But now it's done openly and we see it in real time. So that's good to wake up these off code Negroes. They are being hypocritical because we're seeing this in real time. There is no self defense for a black person defending themselves from white aggression. Whatever they do to a black person is self defense. Even when a black teenager is running away from them, they can shoot the person in the back and claim self defense. You know that's a straight up lie. If a black homeless man is on the train talking to himself, he gets attacked from behind and choked out. That's considered self defense if you're white. So black people don't even have to do anything to them. A white person can unalive you and claim self defense. We've seen Kyle Rittenhouse run across state lines with an assault rifle, unalive 2 protesters, and claim self defense. We're seeing the hypocrisy in these laws being played out openly. Carmelo Anthony wasn't a criminal. He had a bright future ahead of him. He wasn't a thug or or a degenerate, but they're making him become a um, like a martyr, so to speak, or a prisoner of war that people can galvanize around. They're turning Cam- Cam- Carmelo into a um, political prisoner. It's not about just an individual anymore. He's becoming living proof of injustice. Please understand, Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in a prison for his opposition to the apartheid regime in South Africa. He was not just powerful because he was in prison, he was powerful because in prison he exposed the racist regime. His captivity became a mirror that showed the world what apartheid really was. In contrast, in the United States of America, we have this case, Carmelo Anthony saying to the world, North America is going to run a white supremacist apartheid system. In layman terms, the United States of America is going to practice a double standard system based on race while denying they're doing it based on race. So yeah, they just it's just playing word games or mind games. You know, some call it lighting. That's the new term. How will a black person in the South being tried by an all-white jury have a fair trial? So now they created a political prisoner. So now there's going to be a free Carmelo Anthony movement that will galvanize a lot of people and get everybody turned up. So they're furthering delegitimizing their system. Those of you who remember the O.J. Simpson trial, Bob Superior was one of O.J.'s lawyers, a white man who was trying to botch the case early on. He was trying to cut a deal to make a plea bargain. OJ refused. Then Cochran came on the scene. He flipped the script and put the whole LAPD on trial, the best criminal defense lawyer in American history. I want you all to understand that Johnny Cochran, our DAS FM brother, won the case. He went in and said, quote, it's about race. Your lead detective is a racist. Here's the tapes of him being racist. In other words, that's when they was saying that term, the N word. So that's where that came from through that case, the O.J. Simpson, trial. They started off saying that it's not about race. This is a racially charged case, putting a bunch of non black jurors on the case. If the case was reversed, this case wouldn't even go to trial. For example, if a black person walked up to a white person and said, get up, and started putting their hands on them, the white person defended themselves, that person would have been protected under stand your ground law. They understand the importance of maintaining systematic white supremacy. Some lawyers would rather lose respectably than win by attacking white supremacy. This is why you always hear me talk about the importance of black lawyers who are not in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. So it's very hard to find those type of brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying we need to, GRCAM members, we have to build GRCAI Chicago. So that way we can have access to those type of lawyers. Have them, I would say on standby. So, whenever we have problems like this, we can have them ready. That's all I'm saying. Shoot. It's very sad to see a black lawyer named Sean Kent, who defended Rick Chow, who shot and killed the black teenager in South Carolina. Bottom line, we need more black lawyers who are not Sambos, standing on business for the black grassroots. Dask FM. You always hear me talk about the importance of having access to black lawyers to help fight our cases. We need more Johnny Cochrans out there. I keep asking, where are our black lawyers? We have to deal with people like Edward Bloom. Who is Edward Bloom? Edward Bloom is a conservative activist and legal strategist known for orchestrating landmark lawsuits that successfully change race conscious policies in America. He is the president of Students for Fair Admissions, the organization behind the 2023 Supreme Court decision that struck down affirmative action in college admissions. I found an article from AP News entitled, quote, Fearless Funds Drops Grant Program for Black Women Business Owners in Lawsuit Settlement, unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comments section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. We have people like Edward Bloom out here targeting black people for helping our own group while ignoring Asian, Latino, and Jewish organizations that are focusing on helping their own group. Again, double standard, ladies and gentlemen. In addition, we have a white physician files discrimination uh, suit lawsuit against Find a Black Doctor site. To watch the full video, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. The civil rights generation focused their attention on white acceptance, forgiveness, and integration. On this platform, under the grassroots community activist movement, our focus is on building, healing, demanding economic tangibles for these from these politicians that want our vote in exchange for an anti-black hate crime bill, also lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves. When our rights are violated, usually Black Americans hit the streets, march, and protest, begging descendants of slave owners for freedom, justice, and equality. It won't happen because that goes against the system of white supremacy. That's how come we're still in the same situation, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm trying to encourage people, smart people, to be part of the camp. I can't do everything. Good camp members have to build Good Kai of Chicago. If we are serious about our survival here in America, point blank. Again, this is why I created this platform, not to be just running off at the mouth, but to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans who identify as DAS FM, descendants of American slaves / freemen, as well as smart and brave African immigrants across the United States of America, to work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality in order for us to get things done. Doggone it, I didn't know it was going to take no 34 years. This is ridiculous. I mean, my God. I also encourage the global African family to work with me in order to help speed up the process. First, by helping me get my ebook on that bestsellers list. So that way I can be in a better position financially to hire Black people, African people, and others. Do y'all know they have always had laws on the books that explicitly prevented Black people from defending themselves from white aggression? This is what I love about Jewish people. They are on code with each other with the help of the ADL, Anti Defamation League, fighting for their group 100%. They're not off code. But like I say, look at, the black guy that defended, that Asian man. That's off code behavior. I mean, that man, he could have took another case. He didn't have to take that case. But I'm just saying, he did that because he wanted the white supremacist financial elites used him to be a spokes to hide behind him to say, oh, not to look at that young black teenager um, as a human being, to look at him as a criminal. Now the young man didn't steal anything, but yet he get away with that. Ran down the street chasing him. The guy's out of the man's store, and you still want to chase him. So what got me upset the most is that he didn't take the items. So you killed somebody, doggone it, you should pay. But yet, when this brother defend himself, so now he has to do time. So that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. But ain't nothing I can do on this end. This is how things is in this country. But that's why we have to focus on, working together so we could bring the business over to the African continent, help improve the African continent, and take back our continent from these white supremacist financial elites. Now, doggone it, they can run America, but doggone it, they can't have Africa. We're going to fight like hell for our continent. But right now, I can't do anything. That's why I'm trying to encourage my listeners to support me so I can be in a better position to do my job. Point blank. It's going to get worse for Black Americans because of this off-code behavior and sellout culture. These white supremacist financial elites are being very bold and open about their racism. Family, listen, this is what we have to do if we want to survive in America, and that is the Bill Gakai of Chicago. In Gakai of Chicago, we will have our lawyers ready. You know what I'm saying? Ready to fight for us legally. We need to be suing Edward Bloom because he's not going after these other groups. He's up here just picking on Black people. And we got to let them know that's not cool and that would not be tolerated. We will create our own independent Black media in order to tell our stories from our perspectives in film, stage plays, and in music. We need more Black people and more African people on board. We have to get on code with each other. And for me, when I say get on code, that means we have to be in agreement. Can't have somebody like, oh, I don't know, or I'm not sure if I agree with that. Doggone it, if you ain't 100% with us, then just step off. Those white supremacists get on your bumper and stuff, then you don't come over here crying to us because you didn't want to be a part of us. So we ain't gonna fight for you at all. Like I say, my focus is on the CAM members and the immediate family members. That's where we stand now. Shoot, I don't have no choice. We got to stop falling for that minority coalition, which does not exist because we had some minorities on that jury, for that Asian trial about that teenage Black boy that was shot down, in South Carolina. I'm not trying to be Lord and Master over anybody, not at all. But one thing for what I'm saying, what I'm saying out of my mouth, I stand on that. I'm standing on business. I'm not double minded. That's why people want to try to talk to me all fast, or, try to get me to, you know, try to persuade me. I'm like, I can't heed to what you saying. I'm standing on business, and that's real. Now, yeah, that's the reason why I'm reaching out to African immigrants and the global African family, because doggone it, I'm unable to reach Black Americans. It is what it is. Now, what's going to happen is once they see this business materialize, they're going to want to be on board. Mark my words. But there ain't nothing going to change on my end. When I'm dead and gone, that's how come I'm going to have protocol in place. We're going to make sure we check everybody. In other words, we're going to vet them when they come through our doors. Let them know, put everything out on the table. Let them know what we're about, what we stand for, and what we're not going to put up with. They sign the community pledge. They pass our criminal background check, and they submit their thumbprint placed in our database, so that way we'll know who's doing what. So that way they don't try to get over on us and all that. And that's all. As long as you ain't trying to run game, we cool. No issues. We need to galvanize the Black community and get serious about producing social justice for our people. Point blank. I'm trying to recruit, like I say, Black Americans that's descendants of American slaves / freedmen. That's all. Because after all, this business is for them and their families. Get it popping here in America, and then I can turn the business over, because I don't want to sit up here and spend the rest of my life in America. I want to bring the business. I want this to be an international business. And I want to encourage CRCAM members to become global citizens, not to just sit up here and just focus on being in America. We want to encourage them to come to Africa, bring our talents and skills there. We're going to help improve the African economy through our talents and skills in exchange for dual citizenship and land. That's all. Uh, just saying. Finally, yes, get behind our film project, so that way um, we can let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for the low income Black community and for descendants of American slaves / freedmen. In contrast, I'm also trying to recruit smart and brave African immigrants. Like I say, from the 10 African nations, I already mentioned that, so I'm not going to go into all of that. Um, so that's all. We will separate ourselves from the enemy within, which are con artists, Black boule, degenerates, Democrat shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off code Negroes, and urban terrorists. In time, we will offer a second chance program for ex offenders of nonviolent crimes, former gang members, and homeless individuals within our community. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast, and share with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic are stand your ground laws meant for Black Americans too. Let me drop some science on y'all. Back in 1619, the Black Codes in Virginia, it was also called the Act for Preventing Negroes Insurrections. These was laws that said Black people could not carry any clubs, guns, swords, or any weapons. And if an enslaved person lifted a hand in opposition, they would receive 30 lashes. In Maryland, 1695, there was an act of restraining the frequent assembly of Negroes. It says if an enslaved person resisted a white person, the white person could shoot them. Virginia 1705 Act concerning servants and slaves. If an enslaved person resisted their owner, they could end up getting 30 lashes. South Carolina 1740, the Negro Act, the slave code of 1740 stated, um, okay, hold on. So, anyhow, some of my critics may be thinking that those are old laws during slavery. That's true, but they are still on the books. Remember, you still have slavery in America in the back door through the 13th Amendment. The courtroom treats black self defense the same way to this very day. You can't name too many cases where black people used lethal force against a white assailant and it was justified as self defense in the court of law. But there are a lot of cases where a white person has unalive a black person repeatedly and used the term scared for my life as self defense, no matter what the black person has done. For example, Tamir, Tamir, Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old black child, was playing with a toy gun in the park white when a white cop pulled up and gunned him down. Nothing happened to that officer. We can't do that to white people. These are those spirits from the antebellum slavery laws. The spirit of those laws are still here. They condition white American society to view black preservation as an inherent threat. A lot of these laws were rooted in disarming black people. For example, during the 60s in California, American citizens were allowed to open, openly carry guns in public. But when the Black Panther Party for Self Defense came about, all of a sudden they changed that law. It was called Panther Law, also known as the Mulford Act. The act was a 1967 California gun control statute. It, prohibit, it prohibited the open carrying of loaded firearms in public without a government license. The original bill was sponsored by Republican Assemblyman Don Mulford and signed into law by Governor Ronald Reagan. The target, it was crafted, specified to disarm the Black Panther Party, which had been conducting armed patrols of Oak, Oakland neighborhoods to monitor police brutality. The protests in May 1967, about 30 armed Black Panthers members marched into the California state capitol in Sacramento to protest the bill, which gave them national media attention. The impact, the passing of the Mulford Act essentially criminalized the Panthers' neighborhood patrols. It led to sweeping changes in gun legislation, eventually influencing broader national discussion about open carry laws. The NRA stood against the Black Panthers, yet they are the main ones backing the Second Amendment. The NRA always run around talking about hands off our guns, but when the Black Panthers started talking about self defense, they changed that tone. The NRA is all about gun reform now. Just understand the mindset of these white supremacist financial elites. The great thing is they're being open about it. So now that's going to wake up a lot of black people. I'm just waiting on y'all to wake up. Notice the double standard of self defense when it involves black people versus white people. For example, was anybody's life in jeopardy when Jordan Neely, a homeless black man on a New York train, was speaking loud on the train, yet he was choked out by Daniel Penny, who snuck behind him and choked him out. Jordan Neely was not a threat to anybody. The brother was yelling obscenities out there in South Carolina when the Asian store owner shot a young black teenager running away from his store. Their life was not in danger because the suspect was leaving. How was that self defense? If you can run up on our black youth, say Trayvon Martin, a black teenager who was just walking home minding his business, and someone instigates a fight, then unalive him, the court said that was self defense. I'm just saying, see, these are the double standards, ladies and gentlemen. In contrast, the Carmelo Anthony case, it should be self defense across the board. You see, these white supremacist financial elites keep raising the bar when it's based on race. Name one case in the history of the United States of America where the dominant society has justified a black person using lethal force to defend themselves against a white person. Many of these black boulets and Democrat shields are trying to condemn the black community in order to secure funding or social standing with the dominant society. Notice how the conversation goes from the individual to the collective. They always say the black community needs to stop supporting criminals. I'm not going to support him because just because he's black. It's always all of us at fault somehow. That's the sellout culture among us. These black boulets and Democrat shields try to manufacture a pathology about us as descendants of American slaves slash freedmen to justify systematic mistreatment. These people are aligning with the dominant society against us. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Our third topic, the protests in Northern Ireland. In this episode, we discuss the protests in Northern Ireland. The protests held across Northern Ireland on Thursday night passed off without major incidents following a robust police response. Police had vowed to crack down on any further trouble after 2 nights of unrest triggered by a brutal stabbing of Belfast on Monday. 19 people, including a 16-year-old boy, have been arrested following the violence. American, oh, African family, please listen to me. I need for you to put my YouTube page on blast and help me get my revised ebook on that bestsellers list so that I can be in a better position financially to hire Black people, African people, and others. We have to return back to Africa and rebuild the African economy and bring our talents and skills back to Africa. We have to educate our people about what these white supremacist financial elites are doing to us, and we have to reduce the number of Europeans and non-African people on our continent because, after all, the reason why many Africans are flocking to Europe is because they have destabilized your homeland. That's why the UK is flooded with Africans and Muslims. The far right racists are using one African migrant criminal action as an excuse to cause bodily harm or even death to all African migrants living in Ireland. These people have caused great harm to Africa, such as colonization and enslavement of my ancestors, yet they are walking around freely like they belong on our continent. Those Boers in South Africa have a lot of nerve to tell African migrants to go back to their homeland, and yet they got they funky behind on our continent and still occupying 80% of the land and controlling the economic power in South Africa. For Black South African would receive me, sorry, if Black South Africa would receive me and Gracam members, we would come to help them get their land back without bloodshed. But we would fight legally in the court first. And if that don't work, then doggone it, we will have to fight the white supremacists in the streets. If that's what it takes for us to get our land back, so be it, because that land belongs to us, melanated people. God gave that to us, and that's our God given right. The reason they brought us over to, the West is to help build up their doggone economy. And then they got a nerve to not want to give us reparations. What kind of hell stuff is that? That's a straight up turnoff. So, hey, if they don't want to give reparations, I'm like, all right, cool. Hey, we can't make them give us reparations, but doggone it, you can kick them out of our continent. We don't want to fool with you. And that's just how it has to be. We have had enough of these racist people forever provoking us. We did not invite them to our continent in the first place. They imposed themselves. And since Europeans are kicking out Black Africans in Europe, then we need to kick them out of Africa as well. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you for listening to our audio podcast, for joining us on the stream. We greatly appreciate it. I need you all to support our film project so that we can move Gracam to the next level. That is the big screen, to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for descendants of American slaves / freemen who reside in the low-income Black community. Quote, Hood Liberator made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our crowdfunding pages, which are on our GoFundMe page, our Buy Me a Coffee page, or our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. Thank you for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. If you reside on the African continent, then I recommend that you follow me on my Pod Chaser, because it won't eat away your bundles, because it's audio only. I provide the link in the comment section below this audio podcast. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues and African issues. We do this every week. This will conclude our audio podcast for today. Like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next episode. Now, before we go, I want to play two video, well, maybe just one video. And then the second thing, I'm going to show you how to navigate. All right. So bear with me as I try to do that. All right. Let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so check this out. This is what's going on in Northern Ireland. And we're praying for our brothers and sisters that's over there. Okay?
Homes destroyed and lives scarred. This street, just one example of what unrest in Northern Ireland has left behind.
I only got 3 things from the house, and the only thing I did not get from the house were the letters my children wrote for me, because that is all I have from my children.
It is a crushing reality for many, including student nurses Stella and Samaya from Uganda, the result of a terrifying experience.
The police was really trying, but the stoning was also too much for them.
Now both face an uncertain future of what comes next, with fears of staying in Belfast heightened.
Can I really be able to stay here? Will I be safe because of what happened and the whole experience? So just know I'm scared.
Sumaya, can you tell me what happened to you last night? Can you just tell me what happened?
So it all started like a peaceful riot, because I was actually watching it from my window of the bedroom. So it was just like a group of boys, like between the age of 9 and 20. They were all wearing black and masked. First they were masked, and then there were several cars, like for old people, like daddies and mummies, who were parking alongside the road and coming out of the cars and joining the group. So they first burnt the TransLink pink bus 11A and pulled all the dustbins that were around and then started burning. Then I was like, maybe it is just them. Like, and then that happened at around 6. And then it continued. They continued like shouting. Police was there. And then until they started stoning the police. And then I think the police started withdrawing. So they sloped down to our lane, Greenbank corner. It has over like 40 houses. Ours is just at the first lane, like before you, at the turning point. And they first burnt the 2 cars, one for an Irish neighbor and I think one for some other person. There are 4 houses that belong to Nigerians, and then us. And then our immediate neighbor is also Nigerian, but she's been there for just like 1 month. So when they burnt the cars, so it all happened like the smoke was just coming direct to our house. So we called the police, we called the ambulance, we tried to call every other person. It took like 30 minutes before they all came. Like it took some time, but the ambulance people like kept us on phone. When the police came in, they told us we needed to go to either the toilet or the last room, just keep it closed. Like whatever was happening, we shouldn't come downstairs. They were trying to manage, like to guard the doors, but they wouldn't manage the mob. That was what they were assuring us, like, we cannot let you guys out. Yes, we can get you to a safer place, but you cannot come out. It's not safe for you. Like, you just have to be there, just be strong and stay there. So at around 8, so after burning the cars, at around 8, they started burning the houses. That is how they burnt the neighbor's house, the immediate neighbor. And while it got burnt, so it was all coming to our house. Then they burnt another one, then they burnt another one. And then at around, I think 8:30, it was a bit hard for me. Like, so she told me I passed away.
Yeah,
she
passed on actually for some good minutes. When she saw that they were stoning our house, like she knew we're now being attacked, she just fell down and couldn't respond anymore. So I really got scared. I called the police, and the police connected me to the ambulance people. So they told me not to go off the phone until we are safe. So for like, they kept talking to me to direct me what to do. So they directed me what to do until she woke up eventually.
And Sumaya, you had collapsed through
but
through fear because you were worried.
When they started, like when I started hearing like they were breaking, because my house, all the glasses were broken, everything. Because the moment they started stoning our house, you could actually tell from upstairs that now this is it. And you would tell from the mob that was actually outside. It was a very nice view from my room, 2 windows. Like, you would now tell that is it. The police was really trying, but the stoning was also too much for them. So it was actually too much for me.
You were frightened.
Oh my God.
And
totally
Only hope
bad.
that the ambulance people had was on me. They kept on telling me, Stella, please be strong for us. Be strong for us. We are there for you and we are going to make sure you're safe. Just leave your phone on. So I kept my phone on until we were actually brought out.
From the outside, business travel looks glamorous, but it doesn't always feel that way. Until now, meet Navon Edge, your personal travel assistant that.
And what did you see? What did you experience actually inside the house? Did you see the fire that had been set? Did you see the flames in your house and the smoke?
Yes,
Tell
the
me what you
smoke.
saw.
The smoke, like the smoke was everywhere. Like the whole house was smoky. Like it was like a cloud, a black cloud, all coming into the house. Yes. Then the lights, because the poles had burnt, so the lights were
On and off.
Yeah.
Samara, it sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying because most of the people were asking me, are you sleepy? I'm not sleepy. It is just I'm just stressed, so it always pops up into my face. I'm not sleepy. I'm very, very okay and very alert, but it is because I'm a bit stressed. So every time I'm stressed, it is my eyes that will actually be like that. But so it is too frightening for me. Like it is just too much. So it is always popping back into my eyes. So someone will literally tell, like, "Are you okay? Are you sleepy?" But I'm not. Yeah. So it is.
Well, you just feel like you're going back to it in your head.
It is too much. Like I always put it back. Like it is a bit hard for me. Like I'm actually even I keep my eyes up and down every time I see maybe like someone with black. It just pops back to me. Like anyone putting on black, it always pops back to me.
You're scared of people wearing black?
No, like not really scared about them, but because I saw them. Like
right.
So it's not until I get to know that I know these are the people who came in to interview you or anything, but it will just still reflect back into my brain, like, this is what you saw yesterday. This is what you saw yesterday. Yeah.
And how do you feel now, Sumaya? What are you thinking about where you live and your home? Can you go back there?
No, I actually have two thinkings. One thinking that I have right now is I'm really grateful. Like I'm so happy. I'm just like my heart is really at peace knowing that I serve a community that is grateful, and like I'm just so grateful for the people who put up. Actually, Pastor Jack and the daughter, like they were so brave enough to tell them, I really need to save these guys. I mean, it's that he's someone different. Like to me right now, like I feel someone really values what I really do for the community. Someone really values why I'm here. Two, I'm too frightened because I'm not going back to the house. I promise. I only got 3 things from the house. And the only thing I did not get from the house were the letters my children wrote for me. Because that is all I have from my children. The letters that they wrote for me 3 years back when I was leaving them back home. I think that is the only thing I didn't get. I only got my passport, my laptop, and my uniform because I have to go to work. Those are the only 3 things I got from there. So the only thing that I feel maybe I missed out getting were the letters my children wrote for me when I was leaving. But I can't go back. Right now, I'm trying to look up for another house and start life again. That's it.
Stella, how are you feeling about it?
Very scared because when I came to Belfast, I came on a student visa to study, and when my visa went through, I was so excited because I'm studying MBA Masters in Business Administration and working as a carer at Bradley Manor. So I was really excited, but then when this happened, it has really scared me.
Thank you.
My plan was to stay here and do PhD and then work for the community. But I'm now frightened. I'm like, can I really be able to stay here? Will I be safe because of what happened and the whole experience? So Just know I'm scared.
To the British people, we are not bad. Not all of us are bad. And we did not come here maybe to take away the jobs or anything. But meanwhile, the riots are going on. I was telling the ladies who are actually, I was talking to that. I'm actually thinking about my residents at our ladies' care home, because there is always a shortage in the carers. But every time you want to hurt me, know that you are hurting someone down there in the care home. That is someone I do care for all my time. So meanwhile, all this is going around. Meanwhile, you're targeting the migrants and all that. Just know that we are not seated. We are really, really contributing to the greatness of Britain. So for whatever happened, we are really sorry. And the bad people do not actually represent everyone. Some of us are good, and please stop the rioting. Like, just stop it. I know we can go through it, all of us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was really touching. You know what that sister was saying. But hey, that's what happens, when you leave the continent and you're going, yes, you're trying to find greener pastures. It's a shame that, your leaders and stuff, they get corrupt and all that kind of mess. So yeah, I understand you'll leave. But no, it's just rough. That's all I can say. Okay, this is my second what I would like to share with you all. So again, I'm encouraging all my listeners, if you still, listening up to this part, this is important. Go to Google, please. Just type in google.com on your phone or on your laptop or on your tablet. Then after that, type in Manuel online, Manwell, one word, online.medium, medium.com. Okay, and so you'll see that. And so this is, my latest speech, which I just finished. So you'll click on where it says transcript, okay? And all you do is hit your, to go down. So this kind of stuff will pop up. You get that out the way. So I'm scrolling down. So that's important. And thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for, being this far with me. Please, like I say, if you're serious about doing business with me, exchange emails. So that way I can email you everything I do online. If you're serious, don't wait until I blow up and start making money and then want to come around me, because I'm not going to be online that much. I'm going to be out in the field. I'm going to actually be in the business. All right. So what I do, I'm just going to point. So, this is about Karmelo Anthony, all of this right here, about his verdicts and stuff. And so I looked at all that stuff. I wrote out, what I think what was important. And so it is what it is. These are some, this is the off-code behavior, about some black people that's against, Anthony. It is what it is, because everybody's not going to be in agreement, So, we just have to stay away from the ones that's off-code. Black women in, support of. So this person is trying to say he's, a murderer. But I'm just saying, this is the off-code brother. His name is Brandon, and I heard him some of his things on his page. You know, he's talking against Tariq Nasheed and all that stuff and all that. But bottom line, this guy, you know, he's something else. So, and so anyway, these are other things. So I'm just gonna just point out, and this is Representative Jasmine Crockett. You know, she said her piece on TMZ. This is the case about Daniel Penny that choked that homeless brother. His family failed him big time. You know, and so he's out in the street. That's how come I want to help, you know, homeless Black individuals. And like I say, non-Black sympathizers are welcome to join us. Not as groups, but as individuals, because as a collective, a majority of white Americans, Latinos, Asians, they don't want Black Americans to get reparations. A majority of them don't. So the ones that want to be a part of us, they're going to have to say verbally that they agree with lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves. If they agree, they can be a part of us. But however, I want them to also pay a reparations fee. That's how I get down. I'm not like the rest of the other Black people. I have my own style and way of doing things. And we will not be colonized at all. So, and they will have to have a back seat and keep their mouth closed because we running the show over here. I'm just saying, doggone it. But that's just how it is. So look at this guy right here. Just I'm not gonna click on that. You're gonna do this on your own time. I have it there for you. White physician filed discrimination. I'm gonna say a lawsuit against find a Black doctor. Now, this is about finding Black doctors, and he wants to get in because he's white. Because what it is, he's like, oh, you can't use the word Black because there's no racial stuff, but they lying because they still had all white jury. You see what I'm saying? White people are the ones that created racism. They're the ones that created the Jim Crow and apartheid, all that stuff, separation. They the one caused all these problems. You know what I'm saying? So over here, that's how come we use the term descendants of American slaves / freedmen. You know what I'm saying? So that way they can't tether along or piggyback off of our struggle. Nobody else get those reparations except us. Those that was on the plantations. We're the descendants from our ancestors. We want part of that wealth that white America still has. Now white America is 38 trillion in debt. Well, they bought that on themselves. You know? And we can't make people give us our reparations. But if you ain't gonna act a fool with us over there in Europe and all that stuff, kicking Africans out of Europe, well, we can do the same doggone thing in Africa. Kick the Europeans out of Africa and Asians too, unless they want to be a part of us in terms of, I would say, a non-Black sympathizer. They're gonna have to pay reparations, though. That's real. If they don't pay reparations, we don't want to do business with them. It's just that simple. Yeah, and they over here acting a fool, especially African immigrants coming over there to help build up their economy and stuff. And they're the ones that went to all over Africa and especially those, like I say, those Borgs. Ask they asked to come to Africa, to our continent, and then they act like they belong there. Yeah, they owe reparations, for um I would say for apartheid and for colonization. So if they don't want to give that, then the 80% of the land, just we'll do it, try to do it nicely. Say, hey, y'all gonna have to up that land without compensation, because we didn't ask you to come to our continent. And if that doesn't work, then we just have to fight them point blank. It ain't our fault. They the ones started this stuff. Then we just have to fight them. I'm not calling for violence, but at least we'll do it the legal. We'll try to do it in court first. Try to be nice. But we know how these people are. All they know is violence, bugging, hurting people, coming to other people's land and trying to take over. We don't want to be Europeans. And that's how it is. Oh, this racism, we got to go through this stuff. That's why I'm saying I don't mind going back to the African continent, but I want to make sure I got the business popping here first. So that way, when I come to Africa, and I'm not coming to Africa empty-handed, I want to come with economic tangibles in the form of job creation for GRCAM members. Yeah, the Asian man was talking all tough, and here, look at this. This is Asian Americans now begging Black Americans not to boycott their business. That's something else. And then shucks. Hasn't been that long yet, man. My goodness. I say, shoot, at least give them 2 years. Shucks. All the disrespect they had, shoot, I would say 2 years and see how they're going to behave with us. But it's up to y'all, what y'all want to do. But I'm just saying, I'm glad that Black Americans are really starting to wake up and stuff. All right. Okay. So I'm encouraging you all to look at this article right here. Pay up now. These countries owe Africa trillions. Here's the receipt. Check that out. Okay. Then check this out about Brazil, about the history of Brazil. Hopefully they can fight to get their reparations from Spain or really Portugal. But yeah. Scramble for Africa. This is how you're going to find out which European country that colonized you. That's important. And you got to stay on their bumper. They can say, oh, that happened a long time ago, but doggone it, they still got that generational wealth. And it's so ridiculous. You're going to put Black people down and all that stuff, but yet you want our resources. Man, get up out of here. This is, so I encourage people to check this out about, the U.S. president's ties to slavery. All the American presidents had slaves. Here about slave owners, they got reparations. This is, I guess here, in America, and slave compensation. This is in the UK. 1837, they finally finished paying it off. I think 20. I'm thinking 2014 or 15. Been paying compensate, but they don't want to pay the slaves. So y'all owe, and we're gonna stay on that bumper, especially Black Americans. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I encourage Black women, all you Black women that's on my friends list, if y'all could raise 1.5 million for Kamala Harris, y'all can help me raise that 250,000 for this film project. After all, this is for our people. You know what I'm saying? Even GRCAM members, they're going to benefit because it's going to help improve the low income Black community, and everybody that's there going to benefit. Even the ones that's not a part of us. However, we still going to try to keep our distance from them because we just don't want them to taint taint us. Especially the youth. If you put a rotten apple in a fresh barrel full of fresh apples, that rotten apple is going to contaminate all those fresh apples. This because it's rotten to the core and it's bad. So it's going to affect it. So that's what I want to say. Separate from them kind of people. We can't deal with off cold people. People that got a slave mentality. We ain't with that. Check out this article too about the zero I'm saying zero wealth by 2053. Also check this out too, engaging Black audience. That's letting you know we Black Americans as a collective, we have $2 trillion. That's positive. Talking about we lazy. As a collective, we ain't lazy. So that's how come, I'm trying to get this business up and running. Create jobs for Black people, African people, Black women, 92%. That keep voting for that Democrat. Black men, 77%. Got to get off of that Democrat plantation, y'all. Shoot. Because all they care about is getting our votes, and they benefit everybody else and don't give us jack. We ain't having that. We demanding anti-Black hate crime bill, as well as lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves. We demanding that. We want $5 trillion. That's all. That's what they owe. Check out the Willie Lynch mentality. This is basically the slave mentality that I always talk about. Check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Check out this about Dr. King was talking about coming to get our check. That's another form of, in other words, reparations. Read this article about benign and neglect. Read this article about Memorandum 46, both of them. Okay? This is where you find my book. This is my credibility. Right here, my author page on Amazon. Our GoFundMe page where you can donate. You know what I'm saying? PayPal page where you can donate if you don't want to use GoFundMe. Buy me a coffee page right here where you can donate. This is my virtual store where you can buy items. So I'm just letting you know. And again, African immigrants. That's I'm gonna say Native Africans on the continent. Here's my, not this one. I'm sorry, it's one right here. Podchaser. Just subscribe to this right here. And you can listen to it. Or you can read the whole article. The stuff I wrote. Please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe and share my YouTube page. Big time. Okay? And that's going to conclude our show for today. Thank you all for listening. Please leave comments. And like I say, if you're serious about promoting your book, your business, your music, your jokes, or your ministry, make arrangements with me and we'll make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, not only from those that's on my Facebook page, but those that's on my Instagram page, my TikTok page, my LinkedIn page, and on my X page. Ladies and gentlemen, because again, I share my platform. When I get my real business off the ground, up and running, we're going to charge a small fee because I have to pay my employees. All right? Well, with that being said, thank you all for listening. Peace and blessings.